All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So it is time to give you a full review of the Vivo Nex S. Now, let me start by saying this has been one of the best Android experiences I've had on a phone, and it's because of this right here. This huge Super AMOLED display is 1080p, 6.6 inches, and it just fills up the entire front of the screen. There's absolutely no way a person will view this phone and say it doesn't have a beautiful display. I mean, it's Super AMOLED, so that makes it even better. But you know, just having the whole screen and not a cutout at the top, because that seems to become the norm now. Ever since a certain company did it, and a lot of Android phones just start coming out with it just because. But this phone right here with this beautiful 1080p Super AMOLED display really is immersive, and it'll make you just enjoy media even better. Not having the areas cut out and stuff like that, it's just so much better. There's just no way to not enjoy a movie on this 6.6. Think about that, man. You got tablets that are 7 inches, you know, but they've got this one crammed down at 6.6 inches. And, you know, who would have thought that phones would be getting this big for regular use? I don't think a lot of people thought it was going to go that way, for real. So I started with the display because that's one of the most beautiful highlights of this phone. It doesn't have a cutout because the camera is tucked away on the top up here, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But want to do a quick discussion, full review for you guys, man, because I've put out a lot of content on this phone, and I think you guys pretty much know that I like this phone a lot. This is like one of the best Android phones that I have, period. So the display gets a full 10 from me. It's not a Quad HD display, but it's a Super AMOLED 1080p display. So that's a win-win for me, and it's 6.6 inches all screen. Let's take a look at the hardware, the rest of the hardware. You've got this dual camera setup on the back, and then you've got this pop-out camera on the top. I didn't know how I was going to feel about the pop-out camera, but you know what? Totally fine with it. No problems with it, because I only popped that camera out. You know, some people ask the question, well, I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to work out. I'm afraid it's going to break. I don't normally refer people to other people's videos very often from my videos, but if you check out Jerry Riggs' video, he tortured the crap out of this phone, and it passed the test. I don't think anybody's going to destroy it like he did, and he destroyed this phone, and it still survived. No problems with the camera pop out, you know, breaking and all that kind of stuff. Nothing like that. I'm not even worried about it. But you got a headphone jack up top, because this phone does have a headphone jack, another canceling microphone with that pop-out camera. And on the bottom, you've got another microphone, Type-C, SIM tray, and the speaker out down there. Now, that speaker out is straight up loud. It is just a crazy loud speaker. Now, this phone is one of the few phones on the market that actually has an in-screen fingerprint reader, and it is absolutely working like 99% of the time for me. Now, let me see if it embarrasses me on camera. It doesn't, because it works pretty much 99% of the time. And the times that I find that it doesn't work well is when I just put lotion on, or I just wash my hands and it got that grippy feel to it. That's when I think it probably has a little bit of issue. But other than that, I'm really feeling the in-screen fingerprint reader. You know, I've seen the videos saying that it's finicky and stuff like that. It could be a little finicky, but I think you should set your fingerprint up real nicely, and then just don't press on the screen, because this is what happens when I press on the screen. It opened that time, but normally when I press on the screen, it doesn't open. Like when I press real hard, it just doesn't open. Now, I guess it's deciding that it wants to open. I guess it decides it wants to open up. So it is what it is. But I don't normally press on the screen when I open it up. I just rest my finger on it like that. And you can't tell that I'm not pressing, but I'm not pressing. I don't normally press on the screen, because the times that I normally would do it, it would have trouble opening up. So I just rest my finger on there and it pops open. But as you can see, even in this demonstration, doing both, the in-screen fingerprint reader is just crazy nice. It's boss. I love it, man. It works like 99% of the time, man. Seriously. It just works. And that's just what it is. That's another great feature about this phone. But, you know, the hardware itself, man, it's a lightweight phone. It's got the dual tone LED flash up there. You know, some people were excited about the pop-up camera. I was excited about it at first. But after that hype went over, I realized how great the quality was. I just realized how great the quality was for these cameras, man. I could use these cameras to do YouTube videos. I mean, it's got portrait mode on the front and the back. It's got AR stickers. It's got everything, man. HDR, it's loaded up. The Google sticker things, the Google lenses comes on there. It's just a good set of cameras, man. That's a part of the hardware that I really enjoy. It's a good look. You know, I've done lots of front facing video with this thing and made a lot of thumbnails with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, the cameras is hot. That's a part of the hardware that I really enjoy. Another part of the hardware is the speaker quality. The speaker quality is really, really nice. It's a loud speaker, man. I put it up against the iPhone XS Max, and that phone has stereo speakers. And while the iPhone XS Max does have a stereo speaker set up and it's better than these speakers, this speaker is holding its own for a bottom firing speaker. Like that Sony phone that I have with a bottom firing speaker, that speaker is boss, man, and it's loud to just have one speaker. Yeah. So internally, what you can't see is this phone having a Snapdragon 845 and 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs onboard storage. Just pause for that. That's just stupid right there. That's crazy. I mean, look at this. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, man. And I still have 94 left. And some people always ask about OTG. It does have OTG, and I have used it multiple times with my Samsung SSD. My 500 gig SSD, I've used it multiple times. I think that's a good way to transfer stuff, and these phones work very well with it. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything is on point. It does have the LTE bands for the US, so if you're worried about that, you shouldn't have to. I've done multiple speed tests and other videos. Just check out all the other videos I've done on this right here if you want to see like camera footage and stuff like that. It's a good look, man. There's a whole bunch of things. Now you can turn on gestures or you can turn on navigation keys. I keep on the navigation keys just to make it easy on myself. The gestures are cool and everything, but check out my gestures video, full review of the gestures on this phone. The Jovi button is a smart button right here for quick launch. You know what I'm saying? I just choose not to use it because I kept hitting it for a little bit, and it's in a place that I'll confuse for the power button, even though the power button's over here. So it's just a thing. But as you can see here, man, absolutely no problems with the phone, man. Performance is fantastic. I don't anticipate having any problems with the phone. I just know that it's going to definitely be a killer phone for a lot of people. You got Android 8.1.0. It's on the August security patch, and there's a 2.8 gigahertz Snapdragon 845 octa-core processor. The Fun Touch OS 4.0 is absolutely great, man. I don't have any issues with this because you can change the themes. Like you can change themes like nothing. It's just like any other theme store. It's a ton of stuff you can do on here. Wallpapers, everything. It's a good look, man. So the software is nothing like what people think. It's just you have to swipe from the bottom to get to your quick launch settings, and the top is for navigations, which is, you would think that you wouldn't be able to get used to that, but trust me, after a while, man, it just becomes the norm. I love it. It's just becomes the norm, and that's just what it is, man. So the software front, don't worry about, like Fun Touch OS. If you just wanted to change it, man, I tested out a lot of different launchers on here. And if you just had to change it, you just do what I'm doing. You just go in here and change it to the launcher that you want to change it to. And then you could run different skins, and you can run different icon packs. You can run all kind of stuff, man. So I can go in here and change the icon pack to this icon pack, switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Go back out, boom, completely different icon pack. It just changes over. It's a good look. It's one of those things, man, that you can do what you want to do with it. And I think you'll have a good time with the OS on here. I don't mind using the Fun Touch OS. It doesn't bother me at all. It's fast, it's fluid, because this phone has 8 gigs of RAM inside. So it moves out, man. It moves out. You just shouldn't have too many problems with the OS on here. It's not going to be like what you think. So all those people that have this phone, I need you to get in the comments and vouch for me, because the Fun Touch OS isn't a bad operating system. It's just a skin over Android. That's all it is. Now, where this phone shines also is battery life. I'm easily pulling down 9 to 10.5 hours of screen on time and going well over a day with this phone, because it has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery inside, and it's killer on the Snapdragon 845. Now, I'll be able to test this out with the Galaxy Note later on once I get my silver one in. But, it has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery too, and it has a Snapdragon 845 like this. But it does. I don't have the 8 gig of RAM version. I got the 6 gig of RAM version, but I don't think that's going to make a difference because that phone flies. But just this combination with this 4,000 milliamp hour battery with this 1080p Super AMOLED display, boss move, folks. boss move. It is a beast. I mean, there's not much I can say about the battery life. It's just fantastic. And that's just what it is. So closing out, man, the price of this thing, I got a coupon code that's going through October where you can get it for $619. It'll be in the description. It's up to you if you want to buy it. That's why I bought mine. You know, it is an affiliate link, so there is a little bit of kickback to me when you use that link. I appreciate it. I just use it to go out and buy more stuff to review for you guys, and that's real talk. So this is my full review of the Vivo Nex S. You know, it's not hard to give a phone a 10 if you think about it for daily use and stuff like that. This will probably be one of the first phones, or one of the few phones. I've given phones 10s before. Some Samsungs definitely gets 10s. But this phone for me gets a 10, man, because it's the future. It's the where phones should be. In-screen fingerprint. I mean, you can't sleep on this. Like if you hating right now saying, oh, the iPhone's better or the Note's better, I shouldn't say you're hating, but you just don't want to accept reality. They don't have in-screen fingerprint readers. They don't have a full display. They don't have the pop-up camera, and the cameras, not that it pops up, but the cameras are fantastic. Battery life, you're not getting no 10.5 hours of screen on time on your Galaxy Note. I can get it on the iPhone 10 S Max, but I don't anticipate averaging 9.5 hours of screen on time. I'm talking about average, you know what I'm saying? I don't anticipate doing that. And if it does, I'll come back and be like, yo, my bad. I am getting 10.5 and 9.5 hours of screen on time on average, but I can guarantee it probably won't be going for over 24 hours like this phone. But we shall see, because I'm going to do the test. But, you know, I give this phone a straight up 10, man. You know, the price is fair for what it's offering. $600 for this phone is a win-win, man. I mean, seriously, it's not a big phone for what the screen size is. It's a compact it's a big phone, but it's a compact big phone. You know what I'm saying? So there it is, man. Full review for the Vivo Nex S. You know, I mean, if you don't think this phone has innovation, you're just not paying attention to technology. It's your man, Jay, and I'm out. GoPro, stop recording.